The hand and the brain is really important after a stroke, so it is always the simplest ideas that are the best, which leads us to Fergal. Good morning, from Edinburgh, who's brought with him a bionic hand. I mean, this is the Metacarpal, so it's body-powered rather than using any electrics. Talk us through how it works.
So it's quite simple in how it works, in that a cable coming out of the hand, when you pull the cable, the hand closes, and that's what enables people to take a grip.
Can I show your hand?
Very well.
Should we show it for the,
It's a bit like
the camera? Here we go.
It's a bit like taking the pencil to space, isn't it? There are loads of money spent on complicated inventions, but actually this hook, this pulley system, it's been around forever.
Yeah, so, I mean, the split hook is still the most popular and most functional product you can have today, currently available. And that's just a mechanical hook that works in the sort of same principle. But if you saw the patents for it back in 1912, 100 years ago, it still looks like the same thing today.
Wow.
You know, you couldn't tell pictures apart if they weren't in black and white.
So I'm pulling the cord, and as it does, it's immediately responsive, isn't it? Yeah.
So this is the main benefit, is that you get that immediacy. Plus, you can feel the force that you're applying through a cable that's attached to your body. Whereas, I guess, in the robotic ones, if you're sending signals out one way, they're not coming back the other. And that's what you get, that lack of feedback, and that's really important in your grasping things.
I'm terrified.
What made you pare it back from where hands for amputees are now to something that's actually a lot more simple but more effective?
Well, when I got involved with it, the two main things we were kind of looking at was that in hand prosthetics, especially compared to lower limb prosthetics, only about half of the amputees actually use them.
Right.
So current products have been pretty unsuccessful in replacing that functional and psychological need. And these robotic hands are supposed to have been in development for 30, 40 years, and that really hasn't changed in all that time. So it seems like the most used prosthetic is the mechanical ones, but they haven't been innovated on or changed. They haven't been the focus for well over 100 years. And so that's where we wanted to direct our attention at Metacarpal.
It's interesting you say functional and psychological. What are the psychological benefits? What difference would that make?
Well, yeah, it's a complex problem, I guess. So the psychological things is, you know, how it makes you feel.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, a lot of people are happy wearing a hook, but there's a lot of people that aren't. Yeah. And, you know, having something that empowers those people is quite an important part of any prosthesis, really. And even passive prosthetics that don't actually have a gripper, don't have much function to them, they're still very popular today because of that.
So being an inventor is one thing, getting your head around things like patents is another, then taking something to market is another skill entirely. Where do you go from here? You've invented it, but the process now is quite complex, isn't it? And how much does this funding help you?
Yeah, I mean, I studied product design engineering, so the business has been a learning curve and a pretty steep one. Thanks. Yes.
He looked like he thought you were going to take it. Mind that.
Relieved to have it back.
In terms of the funding helping, yeah, it's a big help. I think any business needs funding, especially in the early stages, and having that not be equity funding is a big help too. So I'd encourage anyone thinking of applying to the Young Innovators programme to do so.
And how far do you hope this might travel?
So, I mean, we've got plans already worldwide, starting UK and US, and then taking each European nation sort of one by one, because the healthcare systems are quite different over there. So that's one of our strategies, and then we also have a strategy to sort of get this technology out into developing countries, because it's quite applicable there. It doesn't rely on a lot of electronics. It's quite easy to repair. So yeah, we've got a sort of two-pronged strategy to sort of take over a lot of prosthetics that meet people's needs all over the world.
I was going to ask about rollout, actually, in terms of maintenance and the complexities of it, because it's not electric. Is it cheaper then than the current robotic hand?
I mean, our focus is really on making the best prosthesis possible. And yeah, I think by eliminating motors and batteries, it has become cheaper. It's a lot more accessible than competitor products.
Fantastic. Congratulations on being one of the 94 winners. We'll be talking to some more of them this morning. We're going to be meeting Megan. She's come up with a subscription service for fixing stuff. Sustainability was a massive theme from the Young Inventors this year. So, you know, there is a trend now to move away from disposable electronics, for example, and to fix them instead. So she's come up with a subscription service where children can learn, but also put those practical skills to use. And we'll also be meeting the maker of that fold-away motorbike, John. You might want to get one.
You want one already?
With that on your backpack.
Yeah, that'd be great. Fergal, good luck. Really nice to meet you.
He needs it, does he?
Yeah, I think so. He's taken over the world, country by country. Thank you very much indeed.
It is 26 minutes past 6. Plenty more coming up on the programme, but it's time now to get the news, the travel and the weather where you are.